Hello guys, Jar here, and today I present to you my Battlewasp deck profile. Well, Battlewasp are a series of winged insect type monsters that they special summon themselves and they excel in the battle phase, and more specifically they synchro summon quite a lot, so that's their game plan. And also they try to OTK and they have a very good protection in their tribe lineup. So without further ado, let's begin. First we play 2 Battlewasp Arbalest, the Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire is a card when it's normal summoned. You can target one level 3 or lower insect type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defensive position. It has its effects. If this card in the owner's position is destroyed by an opponent's card, battle or card effect, you can special summon one Battlewasp monster from your hand or deck. You can only use one effect once per turn. So it's pretty good. It's the one card that it can turns the tides of the duel to our favor, and also it provides a lot of support, and we can synchro climb very often with this card. Next we play 3 Twin Bow the Attacker. Twin Bow the Attacker is a card that during your main phase you can special summon this card from your hand, and also you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except insect type monsters, which is not a big deal because we play a lot of insects, but I will show you case some synchro monsters that are very good with this deck. So next, you can only use this effect of Twin Bow the Attacker once per turn, and also it can make 2 attacks at the battle phase. One very good card with this is an equip card that I play, that it turns this card to a 3k pitstick that can attack twice, so it's like a Blue Eyes on steroids in that regard. So that's the whole thing about this card. Next we play 3 Sting the Poison. Sting is the most good card in the entire deck, because if this card is normal special summon, you can add one Battlewasp monster from your deck to your hand except itself, and also as a quick effect you can tribute one other insect type monster you control to target one effect monster your opponent controls and negates effect until the end of this turn. It's the controller, it's the tuner, and also it's a card that provides a lot of support, because you can add either Twin Bolt the Attacker, Arbalest, Pim, or anything that we like to our hand. Speaking of pin, we pay 2 pin the Bullseye. Pin, if you control an insect type monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and during your main phase you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent's life points for each Battlewasp monster you control. You can only use each of the effects once per turn, so it's pretty good. It's one card that we can go to our synchro climb, but most of the time we prefer to use Pim to link climb though, so it's pretty neat. Last but not least, we play 1 Darty the Hunter. Many people play more. I think 1 is very efficient, because when your Battlewasp monster destroys an opponent monster by battle and that is owned by your opponent, you can discard this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that destroys monster's original attack. You can target one other insect type monster you control. It is treated as a tuner this turn, and also you cannot special summon monsters except insect type monsters. So it's pretty good. We have an insect that helps this a lot by making itself level 2 and the other level 6 to go to our Hanma the Conquering Bow. So it's pretty nice. So for speaking about it, it's the 3 Primitive Butterfly. What this card does is, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn you can increase the level of all insect type monsters you currently control by 1. So that means we can turn this from a level 5 to a level 6, Dart to a level 2 to go to the Conquering Bow, and also go to make all the others the level that we need. Key effect, special summon this card first if you like, then try to use its effect to go level 6 to fix it with like the poison to go for the Hanma as well, because if we summon Sting, it will go to level 3 and that makes level 9, so we cannot go for that play. So for the 3 monsters that we play for a support for this archetype, it's 3 Hopier Squadron. This is a very good card, guys. So during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster you control. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon one synchro monster using that monster you control and that target. So we can turn all of our monsters to a little bit better by increasing the level of our monsters. We can go either to our Windwitch Diamond or to our Conquering Bow, and even go sometimes yeah, in those targets as well. So that's the whole way we go about the build. Next we play the Windwitch Engine, 2 Glass Bell, 3 Ice Bell, 1 Snow Bell. Pretty self-explanatory. You can make Hammer the Conquering Bow or anything that you like in that regard, because it's generic. Most of these synchro monsters are generic. And also the very good card is that they cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, with this effect of Snowbell. Next, for the spell lineup, we play 3 Revival Swarm. Revival Swarm is a card that you can target one of your Battlewasp monsters you control, when it's in a graveyard, spell summon it, and you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one insect type monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, so it's a monster reborn for insects, Battlewasp specifically. And also, you can make one insect type monster you control to be immune by battle or card effects for that turn, so it's pretty nice. Next we play 2 Summoning Swarm. Summoning Swarm is a card that you can target one level 4 or lower Battlewasp monster in your graveyard, and equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls, spell summon them. You can only activate one of these per turn, and also you can spell summon monsters from the extender, then you activate this effect, except insect type monsters, which is not a big deal, but it's over there. And with better synchro support, I think that our insects, we can become a better deck overall. So we play 1 Monster Reborn to spell summon our monsters, 1 Reasoning because we like to make our opponent guessed. We have a lot of 4 level 3s, level 2s and level 1s in the deck. If they tell something else, they might mislead their build, and also we can spell something. 2 Twin Twisters because we like to destroy stuff. 3 Psychic Blades to go for the OTK by paying 2000 life points or multiples of 100 that we like. We can equip this to a card, and also that card gains attack equal to the life points that we sacrifice, so it can make Hanma very beefy, Crystal Wing very beefy, and also anything really very beefy to go to the OTK build. We play 2 Compulse to try to help our build, and 3 Battlewasp Nest, because it's a very nice. Because when your Battlewasp monster is targeted for an attack, you can spell summon 1 Battlewasp monster from your hand or deck, and if you do, place 1 counter on this card during then end the battle phase. So you can protect our monsters, and it's pretty nice. It also replaces the monster that we lost. You can only use this effect once per turn, only once per turn. If this card has 2 or more counters during the end phase, send it to the graveyard. So that's why we play 3. It's pretty neat and pretty good to have. For the extra deck, we play 2 Battlewasp Ballista the Armageddon. Ballista is a card that it's level 12. I think it could be better to become a level 10, but I digress. So if this card is spell summon, you can banish all insect type monsters in your graveyard, and all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 500 attack and defense for each of the banished insect type monsters. If this card is in attack position, monsters, inflict battle piercing damage to the opponent. If this card is synchro summoned, that is owned by its own control, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can spell summon 3 or of your banished level 11 or in lower insect type monsters. So that means we can turn the tides of battle and win the game over there. 1 Crystal Wing to help with the Windwitch Engine, 1 Witch Diamond Bell. We can go to this very often with Ear Hop Squadron. It's pretty nice to have. 2 Hanma the Conquering Bow, because it's a card that it can attack your opponent a lot of times and also provides a lot of support. Because each time when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack and defense, and at the end of the battle phase, if the opponent has not taken any battle damage, you can inflict 300 damage, so you can go for the OTK. 1 Clear Wing. I also like to play Clear Wing with my Windwitch Engine in case we need to go to a better negator than go to the Windwitch Winter Bell, which play 2 elves in case we want to burn them for more damage. 2 Halberd the Charge. It's a card that you can bypass a lot of monsters, goes once per turn during the damage calculation. If this card attacks an opponent's monster with equal or higher attack, quick effect, you can halve the attack of the opponent's monster and during the damage calculation only. So it bypasses honest, and it's pretty nice. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can inflict damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp monster you control. So it's pretty nice and pretty good to burn them for a little bit, but it's not the bread and butter of this deck. The bread and butter of this deck is Azusa, that goes to Bow. Azusa is a synchro insect type tuner that when your opponent takes effect damage from another Battlewasp monster you control, that's the low battle, the burn effects that we have, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster. So it's pretty nice to play Azusa, and it's pretty safe to say that it's most efficient monster of the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn, and also when a monster is destroyed by battle while with your Battlewasp monster, while this card is in the graveyard, you can spell summon this card in the first position, but banish when it leaves the field. So we like to bring out Azusa, go to our Synchro Climb, or maybe potentially go to Hanma, or try to go for an Arbalist when we get the chance. One Great Fly to boost our insect type monsters and also recover in case it's destroyed, and one Insector Pick of Alina, because when this card is link summoned, you can turn one other insect type monster you control equipped to one insect type monster from your deck, and it gains 500 attack and defense, and also you can target 3 insect type monsters in your graveyard, sell them back into the deck, then draw one card. That's the whole deck, guys. See you again, bye bye!